Hey again, you're back. I'm back. I have tea. Do you have tea? Go get tea. Today's a day for tea. Oh man, today I was actually debating whether or not to even make this video. If you are just joining me for the very first time, hooray, I'm so glad that you found me. And what a weird day to find me. Because today I didn't really want to make this. And I actually wanted to just take the time to clean my house because my house is messy. I haven't had a lot of time to get anything in order at all. So, yeah, there's a lot of chores that are piling up, and it just felt like that's where I needed to focus my energy instead of making a video. But um I was inspired by one of my lovely people that are out there watching. Thank you, thank you. I was inspired to just do this anyway because this actually is one of the things that gives me a lot of joy and is very healing. It heals me, and I really hope that it's offering something to you. And yeah. Hmm. I feel like August has been a month of like big change, lots happening. And so here we can just take a little moment to actually just like unwind for a second, detach from all of that, and listen to what the guides might have to say for us. It is always medicine for my ears as well when I do these. So I'm actually gonna light a little bit of the sweet grass that I have. And sweet grass really invites in like gentle guidance and gentle um just nurturing. Like the smell of sweet grass burning is just lovely. It's taking off because it's really needed. Look at this billowing smoke we've got. Hmm. So here, you smell it too. And if you've got something to smudge with, definitely invite you to take a second and smudge because cleaning, I think, is probably a theme of cleaning house, cleaning house. So, yeah, just over the weekend, I received a really beautiful womb healing from my lovely retreat partner friend Lisa, who I'll link in the bottom, and she does these incredible womb healings. Oh, it's just so powerful. And so honestly, I've just been needing to take a little bit of time. Like that happened on Sunday. And so yesterday I tried to like get some stuff done, and I felt like I was moving extra slow, extra slow. And then today, just filled with the need to actually get things done that will make my surroundings more pleasant. And so that actually got me thinking, um, just like the importance of like balancing the inside and the outside of us and how those two things are basically like one and the same. But it is very difficult sometimes when we have so much external, and I'll just say it like irritation, external irritation, where there are things that are happening on the outside that we don't like right now. I don't even, is that a dump truck driving by? Good grief. That's just kind of been how it's going. Yeah. Um, external irritations that has been kind of going on for a couple days over here, and trying to learn how to cope with it, trying to learn how to deal, and how to how to find inner peace even when there's external irritations going on, because that is a challenge. I feel like we're all kind of like on this urban monk mission of trying to find inner peace while also living in the hustle and the bustle of daily regular busy life. So, and I'm sure, this audience, if you're listening, it's because we're a match. And um you know I'm an incredibly sensitive person, and so when there's actual like logistic, like there's noise outside from this, I mean, who knows what that was. It sounded like a steam shovel was driving past just for a second. But that sound, I don't just hear it, I feel it. And when that kind of thing is going on, it's actually really difficult for me to find peace, and for me to just continue, yeah, just finding that peace. And the last few days, that's been a struggle. Yeah, not gonna lie. That's been a big struggle with, late night construction, I guess, going on. Yeah. So I don't know how everybody out there is doing with this idea, this concept, but I figured since it was coming up so strongly for me, that, and Tuesday is, it's a day where I really tune in to this community, and it felt like it was just coming up. So I'm not sure what external irritations are coming up for you, but maybe we can find a way to settle and receive a little bit of guidance on how do we cope with those things, and what's going to give us the most our inner sanctuary back. How can we get back to our inner sanctuary? So, yeah. I had up here, I decided to put Shadow. I don't know what I'm going to name her, but right now I like the name Shadow. But that painting always helps me realize that, these things that are challenging and kind of seem to get in the way are actually some of our superpowers and our greatest gifts. And it's just a matter of, you know, changing the perspective on what that means. And so, dancing inside of shadow is the aurora borealis. And it just made me think of how necessary the dark is, because that's where so much beauty resides, like down in the deep ocean. There's so much beauty there too. So, yeah, finding the beauty in these challenges. How about it? So today I actually decided that we were going to light a really big candle. I'm going to do a little Reiki on this candle. This is going to be a video where, you can really just like receive and take in this Reiki energy and let it just go into any of the places that you need some inner soothing, where perhaps the irritation has given you a little callus and you're feeling a bit apathetic, or or perhaps that irritation has kind of broken the skin a little bit, and so let's mend those places today, because August is a very big fiery month. We also need to keep in mind that fire can take off in a wildfire, or it can be contained in a hearth. And so let's try to bring the fire of August back to the hearth, where it can nurture and feed us instead of scorching. So yeah, I'm on that. So here we go. I'm gonna light our, and interestingly enough, look at this. This candle was sitting in a place where it was uh in the sunbeams every morning, and it did in fact get scorched. So there is one half is this light pink, and then this other half is this kind of like melty, scorchy. So I find that, like attracts like. So this candle, having been scorched by the sun every single morning for some time, can really have compassion for what that is and can help us bring some balance back to these aspects of ourselves. So there we go. Can you see it? I'm going to aim the scorchy bit to Shadow, who's going to help heal that. Everything has meaning. Everything. Okay. Anyway, yeah. And hydrate, please. I can't say that enough. My guides have been so like, drink water, drink water, drink water, drink water. I almost feel like that's the only message I've been getting lately, but it's for good reason. So I think today we're gonna use these cards. The Starseed Oracle. I really love these. And let's see. The intention around this is what, let me think here. How can I phrase the question? I'm gonna, shuffling is a very meditative thing. So just like while I'm trying to gather my thoughts around what is the real true intention here is about self-care, right? Self-care. So for us, so let's bring in our guides. Let's call to our guides and to our higher selves, or as I I prefer to call it, is like our eternal self, our all self. It's the part of our, ooh, this is already at eternal all self. Look at what just popped out. Oh, wow. Longing for home, homesickness for the stars. Here, Wraith. So I'm not going to dive too deep into these that just pop out without the intention, but this one coming out when calling in higher self is if it longing for home, it maybe there's a bit of a disconnection right now with that piece of ourselves that is always home, just hasn't never leaves home, is always part of source, is always the eternal piece of ourselves. And when we like really connect back to that part, then we are home. So there is no longing because all is just right here and everything's available. So that was sweet. Now, there's more cards popping out. Okay. So let's go ahead and formulate this intention about self-care. What would give us the most inner peace right now for this group of us? These cards are really talkative today. Okay, so what would give us the most inner peace? Most inner peace. Okay. Star Keeper came out, and trust the timing. So let's take a look. Cosmic Ancestor, seed the light by staying grounded. I really feel like this one is a nod to the guides that are always around helping. And I just got the message real big of earlier on when I was thinking about what kind of questions to ask. And the question that kept coming up is, what aren't we asking our guides right now? Because they are always here to support everything, just, constantly this supportive energy around us, and we forget to tap in. We forget to really utilize the support. And so I gave a reading not too long ago about what aren't we asking our guides for? Like, what support aren't we asking for? So, and what is it that's ready and available? And all we have to do is just simply request. So, and then this one is trust the timing. And so much of everything happens divine timing is basically everything. It says, trust the wave you came in on, and that time is not running out. And that you do actually get to relax in these moments for a second, knowing that this is exactly right. You know, just taking a moment to stop and reflect and move away from distractions for a second. And also just that everything is coming in on its own wave, and it's a struggle sometimes to be patient. However, you know, being grounded and tuned in to that divine timing, you know, that first of all, that's something that, you know, that this cosmic ancestor is feeling like it's able to help out with, for us to lean into the divine timing of things and trust that everything's on its way. Yeah. So I'm really wanting to ask that question now of what is it that we aren't asking our guides? Like what is something that they are ready and available for right at this moment that we haven't asked, that we haven't thought to request and to receive? So yeah, what help is it that they're actually ready to give us? And let's see, and now no cards are popping out. Okay. So let's take a look at this one. They're saying perspective. That none of this matters. Zoom out, common ground. And I kind of hear like almost like a laugh, like kind of chuckling, kind of a laugh, that it's not that nothing matters. They're not being unkind to these irritations that happen to us. In fact, it's quite the opposite, that they have absolute compassion, because many of our guides have actually been in, you know, in human lives, have lived through struggles and difficulties. I'm hearing like our ancestors as well, who also come through as guides. They know very, very well how difficult things can be, and when you are super irritated and off balance and don't have time to do certain things that are essential to self-care, and those, yeah, that life happens. Our ancestors, our guides, our higher selves know very well how difficult that can make things. However, what they're showing is to just zoom, zoom, zoom way out, and to see how these small things that may feel so big when you're living it and in the moment of it, that in fact there is a bigger picture to it all, and to trust to trust that, you know, we are so incredibly supported right now. So yeah, so it's time to really zoom out, and so asking our guides that for help in how can I zoom out of this? How can I get another perspective on this? How can I come to appreciate the different um irritations? That's the word that keeps coming up for me. Frustrations, challenges. How can I actually come to a place where I can see those as opportunities? So, and that takes some zooming. And notice how it's like in this inky black cosmic void. Like that's Earth, all the stars, but way, way, way out. So, yeah. And I'm feeling like this one is definitely a card of contemplation and reflection and refinement of our practices, of the different things that help us actually get a different sense of things. So maybe that is like remembering that taking a walk, or maybe you need to get to the beach, and have like these moments where you can zoom out of the chaos of humanity and sit in your inner stillness so that you can come and then you can come back home, which is right here pictured. Come back home. A lot of this is like come back home, but also like zoom out to see the bigger picture of things. And yeah, yeah. So, I definitely feel the presence of our ancient ancestors and the loved ones that have already walked this path and have already done this inner work so much. And we can really call on them when we need it. So let's see what else needs to come out for this reading, because I feel that maybe today is that day where it's just, short and sweet. This is, a little pocket of time to recollect yourself, come back. Yeah, let's see. These want to come out today. I like so I don't know if this will pick up on the camera. It's like these little chimey bells. And if you can't hear it, I apologize. Just pretend you can hear chimey bells. But these are my little angel cards, which I love so much. These were my very first little oracle and have been with me for so long. And yeah. So let's see. I would like a little message from the Star Keeper. So let's ask a message from the Star Keeper. And I really love this card. I almost feel just like sitting in stillness, just looking at that card. Just gives a lot of peace already. I really love the door in its heart. Yeah. So let's see what the Star Keeper would like to say through the angel cards. Here it is. Oh, what do you think about this? It says obedience. Obedience. What I see is a little angel, a little person sitting on a bicycle in front of a stoplight. So, and then obedience. It doesn't necessarily, the feel that I get from this word is when we step into being our own parent, our inner child needs to learn how to trust this new parent. And this inner child, in many of us, um obedience might have been not a very good word of like, follow orders, do as you're told, stay quiet, that sort of thing. But when you take a look at the lens of when you actually have a parent that is tuned in, and I say tuned in to, this says seed the light by staying grounded. So this parental figure, this guide that is so old and wise and is talking to our new like the new version of us that is reparenting our inner child is so infinitely grounded and knows what's when is the time to go to bed, what when to eat, like these self-care things, these small self-care things. And so that's actually what I'm feeling about this, the obedience that sometimes that little inner child is running amok and is actually kind of in a stir of the things that are so frustrating, that haven't really been nurtured or healed properly. And so these small irritations that come up are actually indicating these little things that were big deals when they happened when we were children. And so actually, like calling that little child back and nurturing them, telling them that it's time to settle, and you know, what do you need? Do you need to eat? Do you need to take a shower? Do you need to, like these small little self-care things that lead to bigger self-care. The answer isn't always meditate or go on a 8-day silent retreat pilgrimage to Shambhala. Like like sometimes it's these small little things of maybe tonight I need to go to bed at like an earlier time and not try to push myself past my limit. And am I eating what I need to eat regularly? These small things that actually, when you look at the lens of, yeah, it's hard to be obedient to this like new parent version of ourselves that is on this path of taking care of ourselves in a deeper, more nurturing, more true, more real way. So yeah, so I think that's kind of beautiful. Yeah. I really feel like the presence of a wise, almost like a grandparent, like a wise grandparent that has already been through so many different things and has come out the other side, and is you know, yeah, just that that feeling. Okay. And then the other card that came up is creativity. Creativity. Getting creative with it. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's kind of what I'm hearing, is that, in order, like I've been working with kids forever now, and one of the ways to get kids to want to do these things that will eventually lead to them learning how to take care of themselves really well is finding creative ways to do things that aren't always fun. So make a game of it. Make everything a game. And I think that there was even like this there I'm thinking of this was years ago, but a friend of mine had an app that was like, it was like the hero's journey kind of thing, where you plugged in these little things that you did every day and you'd get like accomplishments for having, like, let's say you brushed your teeth. This was made for kids, right? So, but yeah, like you could click the thing saying I brushed my teeth this morning, and it would like give you a little reward in this game. So that's popping into my head right now of like reward yourself for doing these things that are self-care, and yeah, get creative around it. And if it feels like it might be a little bit more challenging to get creative, that is actually something you can ask your guides for. You can ask and say, "Can you help me get creative in doing these things that will help me return to my inner sanctuary where like the outer irritations that we're experiencing, they they fall away and we get a new lens on them, get a new perspective on them." Yeah, that's kind of what I'm feeling today. So, yeah, with that, I'm ready to go and do this myself, and yeah, clean a few small mountains of doggy fluff, because I've got a German Shepherd who is the constant, never ending shed machine. So, yeah, like I turned around for a second and poof, my entire house is covered in fluffs. So, I'm ready to release those fluffs outside and inside. But I just wanted, I want one more card, but I'm not sure which deck to pull from. Hmm. Yeah, I love this deck, so we're gonna pull from this one. And this is the fairy deck. Where did you go? The words. Yeah. Okay. Last card for everybody, because these are fun. I love them. And let's just go ahead and let's chance it. Let's let's roll the dice and see which of the fairies in this deck can actually help us in a sweet and really nurturing way. Who can help us actually do like, you know, help us do this self-care work that's so essential. So essential. It's that whole thing of like we need to take care of ourselves or we cannot uh take care of others in a way that is sustainable. So, which of these little fairy friends can help us with this task that sometimes feels daunting? But how can this fairy bring some creativity and a little spark of joy to the inner child that needs to put up with doing chores? Oh. So let's see. Yeah, because that little kid inside of each of us wants to play, but we also need to get some stuff done. And this stuff actually is going to help us have more space and more time and more room, spaciousness within ourselves. Yeah, to play even more. Oh, there it is. Oh, look at that. Good. The fairies were kind. We didn't get a trickster. Love it. And it says the Prince of Light. The Prince of Light. This guy, this does he just kind of look like Robert Downey Jr. a little bit? Like, is that the model that posed for this? Oh, that's kind of funny. Anyway, the Prince of Light, and it looks like he's holding what kind of looks to me like a moonstone, or there's some really, really, really beautiful and powerful stone that he's holding. And he's just like gliding through. So let's read about him. And he's number 12. Number 12. Okay. Let's read. All right. The Prince of Light, new beginnings, peacemaker, potential. The Prince of Light comes into your life like a blessing. He's the bringer of new beginnings, indicated by the egg. Ah, it's an egg that he holds before him, which is the symbol of potential. He soothes, calms, and leads you into the light. The peacemaker. He is always ready to still the troubled waters of a relationship. He is wise. If he appears in a reading, listen to what he has to tell you. If you recognize a friend or a partner in the Prince of Light, okay, cherish that person and honor the goodness he can bring to a relationship. If you Am I gonna meet Robert Downey Jr.? What is that? Okay. If you draw this card with the Queen of the Day, ooh, so if it was surrounded by that, you will be surrounded by grace and light. Okay, that makes me think of something. Bring that light into your own relationships and see them blossom under the benevolent gaze of these two powerful beings. Wow. Okay, so this card, the Prince of Light, it was just saying that if he was paired with the Queen, so there are a few different queens in this deck. These the sections of the cards, he's in the Queen's consorts. But what I think is interesting is that we did not have a queen. However, we did have the Star Keeper. And while that might not be the energy necessarily of a queen, it is the ancient feeling of a very old guide. If you can feel into that energy right now, can you feel how old the Star Keeper is? Yeah, it goes back very, 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 very long ago. And the Prince of Light is paired with the Star Keeper. Which I really feel is, he's the active principle, kind of like the prince, not the prince, the knight in the tarot that is delivering the messages and bringing in the energy. So the Prince of Light is the active principle bringing this Star Keeper, this ancient Star Keeper guide, like that ancient wisdom. It could be our higher selves. Sometimes our higher selves are a future version of us, and you know, and is bringing that light of perspective and protection. If you feel that you need a little bit of protection, because this is like encapsulated in an egg. You see how that is happening here? Encapsulated in an egg. And then within this egg, it's like, being able to just like open the door and sit. I really feel like right now this Star Keeper is like inviting that energy to just like sit in contemplation and meditation and stillness for a little bit. And I get really deep breaths when I feel this card. It's really activating me actually. So yeah, let's just allow this Prince of Light to really bring in that healing, yummy energy of the Star Keeper into our day today and into the rest of the month, because this month is very activating. There's a lot going on. In another, maybe next week or something, we'll go into I didn't go touch on any of the astrology at all, but Chiron, which is our sacred, the sacred wound, which then creates the sacred medicine that we each can carry. Um, that asteroid, that energy body, is going retrograde, which actually is a time of getting greater perspective and reflection on these triggers, and to find out a little bit more why they're there, um, how they were installed, and what is it that they're trying to teach us? What is it that they're trying to show us? And then how to move through so that we can actually come out the other side and help others who are going through the same kind of process. So, yeah, I think that's it for the reading today. It was nice to get the Prince of Light. How weird is that? It even said if he looks like somebody to you. So for me, he looked like a movie actor. How weird. Not that I have any, like, I don't know him. He's just, it just looks like him. But maybe that card looked like somebody to you. Maybe somebody you actually know. Um, I think I already put it away. Is he on the top? Yeah. So yeah, maybe he looks like somebody else to you. I don't know. But that's kind of wild. A little bit of a shapeshifter there. So, okay. Anyway, yeah. That's kind of it. So we'll say thank you, especially to that ancient star keeper, that guide. Wow. That feeling I hope will stick around for a little while. That was good. Hmm. So just thanking your guides and my guides and all of the unseen help that we have constantly around us. And um, this Reiki candle, my Reiki candle will be on the altar for us, for you to lean in and receive love. And actually, I will put the Prince of Light and the Star Keeper card. Yeah, that feels right. I will put those two by the candle today. Actually, they're just going to anchor it. So that that energy of the Prince of Light and this ancient star keeper, they are the ones that are going to be creating this sacred little bubble. And so if you want, this is like on your own time, whenever you feel like it, you can invite yourself in to that sacred bubble. Very much like this little blue egg. You are invited to open the door to the blue, nurturing, kind of rejuvenating, healing water. Yeah. And just soak that in as much as you want. So that will be available for you until the candle obviously burns down. And so much healing to you, so much healing to me, and to all of your loved ones, all of my loved ones. And yeah, I'll see you with the next time I do these things. Yeah. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Bye.